Hi friends, I'm here with a yoga offering. As always, please do what feels right for you. Feel free to skip anything, change anything, so you're working with your body. Let's begin on our backs and come into a symmetrical, relaxed position. Spread out. Close your eyes or take a soft gaze and begin to slow down your breath. And you're welcome to keep your eyes closed or open them as it's useful for you. Let's go ahead and stretch arms overhead, reach through arms and legs, fingers and toes. Interlace your fingers, press out through your palms, flex your feet. And then roll onto one side. We'll extend the bottom arm straight, legs straight, toes pointed, whole body in a straight long line, and the top hand can be on the floor for a little bit of support. Let's lift the legs together and up. They don't have to be high, but reach really long out through the toes, squeezing inner legs together. And then release down. Now let's lift the legs and the bottom arm. Reach long through fingers, toes, head, tailbone. Release down. Now take the top arm overhead, palms together, reach out through both arms and legs, flounder pose. There might be a little bit of flopping. Release. Bend the bottom arm, hand to your head, flex your feet, and then bring the top leg up like tree. Sole of the foot as high on your inner leg as you can. See if you can balance without the use of your hand. If you need it, you can put it down. Try and bring the knee open, the hips in, everything to the midline. Flexing that bottom foot will help a little bit with balancing. And then reach your hand to the inside for your big toe. And you can straighten whatever amount you're able with that top leg, part way or all the way. Again, trying to keep everything in the midline. So hips into the center, leg to the center. Release the top hand to the floor, and let's lower that top leg until it's about 6 inches off the floor. Kick through your heel, reach through your toes, splitting your legs wide, but keep that top hip down so the torso is nice and long. Release your foot to the floor where it is. Hand that was on your head will reach for your foot. You might need to bend your knee to grab it, or you could use a strap, or you could hold your calf. And then roll the top arm open. Dropping down through the top shoulder, drop down through the top hip. Deep twist. If you like, your free hand, the top hand can reach down for your free foot, your bottom foot, for a quad stretch. And then release, roll back onto your back. Bring both knees in. Take a circle or rock with your knees. Maybe shake out the legs. And then let's spread out and onto the other side, same thing. Bottom arm straight, toes pointed to start, top hand, little support for these first couple things. Lift the legs together and up, squeezing inner legs together, core strength. Release the legs down. Now lift the legs and the bottom arm. Really long, strong core supporting you, but can you relax your face? Release down, top arm overhead. Let's reach out to come up, squeezing, legs together, arms together. And release down, bend the bottom arm, hand to your head, flex your feet. And then bring the top leg up like a tree, as high as you can. Everything going into the midline. Reach your hand to the inside for your big toe, and you can stay with it bent like this. You can straighten it whatever amount. You're looking for your edge, so it doesn't need to look any way. It doesn't need to look the way I'm doing it. You're looking for your edge. Release your hand to the floor, lower that top leg until it's just a couple of inches off the floor. Kick through the heel, reach through the toes. Release, foot to the floor. Hand that was on your head reaches for the foot, a strap or your calf. Roll open through the top shoulder, drop down through the top hip. Deep twist. If you did so on the other side, and you want to try for that quad stretch, free hand reaches for the free foot. Roll back onto your back. Bring both knees in. Circle or rock. Let's shake the legs out. Make our way up to sitting and onto hands and knees, tabletop. If you'd like to pad your knees, you're welcome to put something under there. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Let's take a few rolls through the spine, starting by lifting head and tailbone arching, opening the front side, and then round, draw the belly in. Inhale, arch. Exhale, curve. Inhale, arch. Exhale, curve. Now, inhale, arch. Shift your weight forward. Bend your elbows straight back. Dip part way or all the way to the floor. Press up from there, round. Arch. Go forward to dip down. Press up. Round. Arch. Dip down. Press up. Round. Arch. One more time. Dip down. Press up. And sink back to child's pose. Hips to the heels. Forehead to the floor. Letting go. With arms out in front of you, walk your hands over to the left. And then pull back through your right hip. Come through center and over to the other side. Pull back through your left hip, stretching left side a bit more. Come back to center. Let's lift up through table and into down dog. Opening up the backs of the legs. You can pedal out your feet a little. And then walk your hands and feet towards one another. Let's hang in ragdoll, feet hip width apart, parallel. Bend your knees a little more. And make your way up to standing. Let's come into a horse stance. So you can separate your feet, sink your hips low, and we're going to open the knees as wide as they'll go. Have the toes point that same direction that the knees are. So your feet don't leave where the knees are pointed. They're both connected. Strong core, hips low. Then take one elbow on top of the other. Put some pressure between the elbows to spread the upper back. And here you might round your back, might lift the heart. Could take a little twist or side bend or any other movement that helps you explore being in your body. Notice which arm is on top and then release. Take a few gentle swings. Let's bring the other arm on top. Pressure between the elbows, spreading the upper back. And feel free to move around a little bit. Release the arms, a couple swings. Sink hips a little lower, bringing heat, energy into the legs. And then straighten, turn the heels out, toes in, so the outer edges of the feet are parallel. And let's fold forward. If it's difficult to reach the floor, you might grab a block for your hands. We're going to let the upper body hang. If you tend to lock your knees, check in on that. A little bend is a good idea. And if this is really tight for your hamstrings or your legs, maybe a bigger bend. Keeping your legs more or less how they are now. Walk both hands over to one side, and you can take hold of that foot or ankle or just go towards it, feeling what's here, what do you notice, what are you interested in. And then walk your hands over to the other side, exploring this side. Let's walk hands over to the other side again. This time bend the knee. And you can bend it a little or a lot. If you want to lift the opposite toes, you might come way down. This doesn't work for everybody, so see how it works for you. And again, just explore. What do you notice here? What's interesting? If there were no right or wrong way to do this, what would you be doing? Walk your hands over through center to the other side, bend that knee. And you can bend it a little or a lot. If you want to lift the opposite toes, you might come all the way down. Back to center. Toe heel the feet in to about hip width apart. Could be a little wider. Let's lower the hips, come into a squat. Malasana. If your heels don't easily come to the floor, you're welcome to slide a blanket under there or sit on a block or a couple blocks. Let's open up the knees using the elbows, shoulders back and down. Nice long spine. We'll work our root lock here. Mula Bandha, same as a Kegel exercise. As you exhale, draw the pelvic floor muscles in and up. As you inhale, release that. Exhale, engage. Inhale, release. Exhale, engage. Inhale, release. And then engage and keep holding, keep breathing, drawing in strongly through the bottom and connecting that energy all the way up to the top. Let's release. Go ahead and sit down. And bring soles of the feet together. If sitting up on something works better for you, feel free to slide a little lift under the hips. You can grab your toes or ankles, lengthen, and fold. Let's bring the upper body back up. Keep the right leg more or less where it is. Open the left leg out to the side. And then bring the right arm up and over for a side bend, gate pose, Parigasana. Big reach like a yawn. And then let your head fall towards the floor. Take the top arm out and down until your shoulder drops down, stretching right side of the neck. Press into the bottom hand to come up, and then use that hand to lift your head. Switch the legs. Other arm up and over. Ooh, big reach. And then let your head fall towards the floor, top arm out and down till your shoulder drops down. Press into the bottom hand, come up, and use that hand to lift your head. Let's open both legs wide. Upavishta Konasana, wide angle pose. Again, you might be sitting up on something. You can use your hands on the floor behind you, or you can lean forward. What we're looking for is our own edge. What's the maximum stretch that I can be relaxed in? Let's bring the upper body back up, walk the hands in, lean back, draw the legs in, shake that out. Okay, I'm going to suggest we do legs up the wall. So you will need a wall. A door could work as long as it's not going to open on you. I'm going to use this couch. I don't recommend a couch, but I know this one won't move, so that's what I'm going to do. If you want padding under you, bring your yoga mat or a blanket. And then we're going to come onto our backs. And the trick for getting your hips right up against the wall is to come onto one side so you can scoot your hips all the way there and then roll back onto your back. We'll take legs straight up. If there is a little space between your hips and the wall, that may be actually a good idea. If your hamstrings are on the tighter side, it might be too tight to have your hips right up against. So you can feel, does this feel right? If you'd like, you can do a little butt scooch to get closer. Now, from here, legs up the wall. If we bend the knees just enough so your feet are on the wall, you can slowly push your feet into the wall and lift your hips up. And then roll them back down. This can be a nice massage for the erector muscles, the muscles on either side of the spine. They do a lot of work. So just slowly rolling hips up and down. See if you can go one vertebrae at a time. If you find a place that feels like it moves in a big chunk, slow it down and imagine it. There may be places you want to pause and let the weight of your body kind of pour through that point. And then next time the hips are down, just go ahead and rest, legs up the wall. Legs up the wall is a great alternative to other inversions. If you're ever in a class that's suggesting an inversion that you don't want to take, you can do legs up the wall. If you've ever spent a long time standing and like your feet or ankles feel swollen, legs up the wall is great for draining that. Many of the leg positions we would have in a seated forward fold, we can practice here and the back is supported. So the pose we're in now would be like a standard seated forward fold, stretching the backs of the legs perhaps, but keeping the lower back nice and long and supported. We could also try bringing soles of the feet together, knees open. Very similar to the seated pose, but back is supported. We could also try legs wide and straight, kind of like we did sitting. Gravity's working on the body in a different way. If you're enjoying the position you're in, just resting here. If you want to take one of the other positions, you're welcome at any time. And in a few moments, I'm going to wind down this practice. So this could be your final resting pose right where you are instead of Shavasana or at the wall, but a different leg position. If you'd like to spread out in Shavasana instead, you can make your way away from the wall, taking your time, perhaps checking in with your body to see if there's anything you need before settling into stillness. Do you want to take a twist or any other stretch or restorative pose or anything really, or nothing? Feeling whatever it is you are doing, giving it the time it needs. And eventually finding your way to a good resting pose. Letting go of all the doing. You can bring a little movement back into your body. Take a stretch through your arms and legs. Bring your knees in. And roll to one side. Use your hands to help you up to sitting. And bring hands together at the heart. Silently thanking yourself for your practice. And cultivating a feeling of gratitude for whatever feels easy in this moment. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Hope you have a great rest of your day.